in disbelief in the corner. Her eyes met ours, and she whispered, "He tried to kill me." Welcome to the neighborhood. For more than 20 years, our family had lived in the perfectly manicured cul-de-sacs of a gated community in Scottsdale, an upper-middle-class suburb about 30 minutes outside of Phoenix. All of our houses were the same. You might think you know what that means, but unless you've lived in a master plan community, you don't. Same architecture, same color, same landscaping. If you can call red pebbles with the occasional cactus landscaping. We placed our trash receptacles in the same place on our identical sidewalks on the same days. Tuesday for trash, Thursday for recycling. All of this was mandated and enforced by the dreaded and omniscient Homeowners Association, the HOA. The HOA was the housing equivalent of the Old Testament law and was enforced religiously by the community's equivalent of the Pharisees. Oh, and did I mention that our neighborhood was exclusively white? That wasn't officially mandated by the HOA. It was the way things just were. Our master plan community in the suburbs was surrounded by a wall whose gate was manned by armed guards. This is a common practice in this particular city, and not because the city is dangerous. The gate was designed to insulate the neighborhood from outsiders. Yet the way our neighborhood was designed also kept us isolated from each other. It was just so easy to walk through our house, enter the garage, get in our car, drive through the gate, and leave the neighborhood without encountering a single human being. The reverse process would take you home. In the more affluent neighborhoods in North Scottsdale, there are even gated communities within gated communities. Judith and I once had dinner with a couple in a neighborhood, within a neighborhood, within a neighborhood, 3 levels deep. It felt like we were in a scene from a sci-fi movie. The suburbs served us well for many years, but then something began to feel off. Something was changing inside us, a sense that this wasn't quite the way we wanted to live. Eventually, we grew weary of the mind-numbing sameness and guarded gate isolation. We moved out of the suburbs and into a more diverse apartment building in central Phoenix. Nothing about our new neighborhood could be considered the same. 1 block to the north, you find the most affluent zip code in Arizona. 1 block to the south, you find vulnerable neighborhoods. We live at the intersection of these distinct realities. We bade farewell to the security and comfort of our gated suburban neighborhood and the not-so-beloved Homeowners Association for a couple of reasons. The global church we had become a part of required extensive travel with multiple trips to Australia and Europe each year, in addition to our schedule of traveling across North America. And when I say extensive, that's coming from someone who has traveled to more than 60 countries, some as many as 20 times. With that hectic travel schedule, we decided it would be more practical to reside in a lock-and-leave apartment in a high-rise not too far from the airport. Ironically, we made this decision just before the global pandemic restricted all global travel, and we ended up being grounded for a year. Now that life has returned to some sense of normalcy, we can disembark from an airplane, jump into an Uber, and be in our bedroom unpacking our suitcases in 12 minutes flat. Yes, I've timed it, and it has become a running competition between us. I'm that guy. But there is another and more important reason we moved into the city. After 2 decades of serving as the lead pastors of a large multi-site church, my wife and I sensed God calling us to embark on a personal mission to love and serve the city of Phoenix. Our church was already active in the city in many different ways, fostering hundreds of youths, partnering with vulnerable schools, serving refugees, operating a shelter for abused women and children, and much more. And yet, despite our church's significant portfolio of social programs, something felt missing in our souls. Even though we were the directional leaders of our church's missional engagement, we felt like we were outsourcing our compassion to others, our staff, our team, our volunteers. We wanted to roll up our shirt sleeves and collaborate with God in His work within our city.